Okay, guys, we're back on the build of the Pontiac Fiero Indy Edition. And as you know, we've included this into King Bob's 100 Years of Pontiac group build that's extending through this entire year. What you see me doing here is unmasking the car after spending quite a bit of time masking and painting the lower trim, and I'm not happy with it. It came out the wrong color. The Fiero Indy has a contrasting body color at the lower cladding and the rocker panels, which is like a metallic gray, a silverish type gray. I thought that the metallic gray from Tamiya would work to simulate that color. Yeah, I was totally wrong. It's way too dark and really does not work for this at all. So after all this work I put into this, I am going to have to do it again. So I'm going to finish unmasking this, remask it again once the paint cures and is totally dry that I can handle it. And then I'm going to take it back to the paint booth and we're going to try this again. Okay, guys, so here's the finished product. And like I said, nowhere near what I was hoping it would be. Just a little too dark. So just wanted to give you guys a look at it in its metallic gray. And if it wasn't that I'm trying to replicate an Indy, this actually wouldn't be too bad. But unfortunately, we're going for the full Indy build. So that means back to the paint booth. All right, guys, let's do this. All right, guys, and here we have the repaint of the lower trim on the Fiero. The color is now much closer to what it should be, and you can see what the difference is here as what the metallic gray was like and what the new color is. This is actually a this is, what color is this? This is from Mr. Hobby. This is their metalizer paints. This color is the Mr. Metal Color Stainless number 213 from Mr. Hobby. And this is airbrush ready. It's thin enough to spray exactly the way it is, or if you want to thin it a little more you can, but I sprayed it right from the bottle and it sprayed beautifully. As you can see here, so now the Fiero has its trim. Next step is to apply the Indy decals and then give it a nice solid clear coat. One thing I do want to say about the white paint, this is white primer, which I have sanded totally smooth and buffed out so that it gives the appearance of actually being painted. But this is just primer. Once you smooth it out and polish it out enough, you get a pretty nice shine out of it. If I continue to polish it, I can probably get it even shinier than this. But it's going to get a clear coat, so I'm not going to even go that route with that. And here you can see the bare metal foil that made the badge on the nose. So yeah, it's coming together. So next step is to start some decal work. Okay, guys, we're going to start with the decal work on the Fiero. Now, you know that this is a bit of a kit bash project, where I'm using parts from the NPC kit on the monogram, and now we're using the decals from the Revell kit, the newly released Fiero, and combining them with these decals, these pace car decals that I bought online. I don't remember who I got these from, but I bought them online on eBay, and they were made for this monogram kit. Now I've already painted the gray, the silver underside trim, so I won't be using that. So I'm not really going to be using any of these here. What I will be using is the pace car decals, the Indy wings decals, and possibly these circular decals for the rims. Haven't decided yet. But what I am going to use are the striping decals from the Revell set, as it's going to be a little easier than trying to paint these little pinstripes on the body of the car. Now, in order to do this, as you can see, there is a left and a right, a front and a back to these decals. They may look like straight lines, but they're not. So we have to follow the Revell instructions to figure out which decals go on what part of the body. So we're just going to start decaling. So guys, just hang out while we do some decals. Okay, guys, and here is half of the red striping done. It's a little tricky to get around these corners and try and keep this as straight as possible. All the way around the body here. So I'm going to keep on decaling, and it's going to take a little while because just getting these lines to sit perfectly straight isn't the easiest thing in the world. There's going to be a lot of painting that has to get done on this. For a simple looking little car, it is quite a complex paint job on this thing, as there's tons of black trim that goes all around the body, and the trunk, the cowling, that has to all be painted in its correct colors, and that tends to include a lot of masking, but that's going to take place after the clear coat and the polishing, as all of that has got to go on over the clear, as everything here is a semi-gloss to flat black. So anyway, it's a lot more work to do on this. All right, guys, now we have all of the decal work done on the body. You can see all the red trim like you saw earlier, except now we have our pace car markings, our Indy wings on the fender, Indy Fiero on the rear deck lid. And I don't remember where I got these decals. If anybody out there is familiar with them, but they are super thin. They lay really nicely. And you didn't even need any microsol on it. I mean, they just laid so flat. They look fantastic. So that's it. All the decal work is done. Now we're going to move on to letting them sit and dry, and then a full clear coat, and then a ton of body details. As I said previously, it is a deceptively simple looking body, but a very complex paint scheme with all of the black trim, and it's going to require quite a bit of work. So I'm really happy with the way it turned out. Okay, guys, we have the clear coat on, and as you can see, she's looking really pretty. This is Tamiya TS13 over the Tamiya white primer. I didn't put white paint between the primer and the clear. For future reference, next time I think I will, because I had a couple of issues, which I'll talk about on the next episode. But overall, she's looking pretty good. So that's going to be it for this episode, guys. Now that the paint's done, it had to sit for about 3 days before I can do anything else with it. And then it's on to trying some final assembly. Hopefully, by some point, I'll get this thing done before MosquitoCon and NNL East. Okay, guys, see you on the next one.